So
my favorite... my number 5 pick is from Treehouse of Horror number 1, which is The Raven, which I think is probably the one that most people remember. Not because it's the funniest, just because it's the most iconic. Where there weren't a whole lot of time. It came out in the 90s, 1990, October 25th, 1990, and not too many people were really parodying classic literature. And Simpsons came out and was like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. And they had this really funny scene where Homer was still speaking the correct quotes from the book, but Bart was just trying to fuck him up and mess with his mind. It was so great.
Bart
just
was
slowly drove him to madness, like in The Raven.
And well, that one, like even after over 20 years, that one still is one of those ones that anytime I see it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this.
Yeah, you have to.
Our number 4 is Treehouse of Horrors 3. The segment is Clown Without Pity. By the way, this is October 29th, 1992 when this one came out. But it's basically Homer forgets Bart's birthday and
Classic Homer.
buys him this Krusty the Clown, like, murderous doll. And it's
with
just
a pull string, which has one of my favorite gags in the short, where Krusty's maniacally laughing and coming at Homer with a knife, but his pull string runs out of laughs, so he's like, and just points at his back, and Homer pulls it, and then he starts maniacally laughing and coming at him again.
The end of the actual episode is funny to me, because you know how some of them actually end with like a little twist. This one is just like him just like, I'm gonna kiss the Stacy doll, and
that's the creepiest part.
Well, the head falling off or something.
Because not only is this Krusty the doll supposed to be good now, but it's living in Lisa's playhouse for a doll. So Krusty the Clown doll is like banging Barbie or Malibu Stacy.
Yeah,
banging Malibu Stacy in her little Corvette house, and just inches away from Lisa at all times. But as Matt Groening said, that the Treehouse of Horror episodes are not canon, they're not part of the Simpsons universe, it's just some fun thing to do. So it works. And number 3 is Treehouse of Horror number 9, airing October 25th, 1998. The segment Starship Poopers. Starship Poopers is where we find out that Maggie is not the offspring of Homer, but it's actually an offspring of Kang and Kodos. Was it Kang or Kodos? I think it was...
I can't remember.
The aliens.
The thing is that they look so much alike. I still can't tell them apart.
Yeah, I think the only way to determine which one's which is the voice. But
that's basically it.
Maggie grows her first tooth, which is a fang, and shortly after, her legs fall off as Homer's playing with her toes.
Yeah.
And she grows tentacles and then climbs on the ceiling, and it was just awesome.
I don't know, like, that one's funny.
It's just funny. It's silly.
I think it's more just, like, dumb. Because I know that, I actually kind of said it, but Family Guy, they did something kind of like that.
Yeah.
That I remember. Left foot, right foot. Left foot? Do you ever see that?
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, basically, Stewie, like, he's got all these tentacles, and there's basically like a mass amount of them. I can't really remember too much about it. I was probably drunk when I watched it or something. Yeah. But then there's just like a whole bunch of these Stewies just like swarming the world.
That was a good another Treehouse of Horror episode, which is not on our list, is when Homer multiplies himself. It might not have been Treehouse. Anyways.
So, number 2, Treehouse of Horror 16. Wow, this is actually, I think, the newest.
The newest one.
Newest episode we actually had.
By 8 years ago.
I've grown a costume on your face. November 6th, 2005. Wow, that's pretty old. This one is basically a witch wins a costume contest, but they don't give her prize because they find out that she's a real witch, I believe.
Yeah, she got gooped.
And basically what she does is just, okay, all of you guys wearing costumes, you become...
That's a permanent form now.
Yeah. So basically whatever you're wearing, that's what you are.
Homer is headless. Marge is a skeleton now. Lisa is Albert Einstein.
There you go.
Bart is the Wolfman, and my favorite, Milhouse is a bulldozer.
What was Maggie?
Maggie, I don't remember what Maggie was. I know the Spanish bee guy is an actual bee, and then Flanders is a flower, and so the bee guy's just chasing around Flanders.
Of course Flanders would be a flower.
Oh, and my favorite one is Apu is R2D2, and he's just making up his own noises. He says oink once.
That one is actually
It's awesome.
a pretty funny one. I was hoping that this wasn't going to be overpowered with a whole bunch of older episodes, because when I was looking through, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Because all of the best ones are the classic ones, but that one transcends. It's so good. It's really funny.
And Danny with her number one.
My favorite one. This might be one of my all-time favorite Simpsons episodes, period, just because it's so ridiculous and nutty, is Treehouse of Horror number 4 from October 28th, 1993, The Devil and Homer Simpson, which is where Homer's falling asleep, he's dreaming of donuts, he finds out that Lenny and Carl ate the last donut, so he just mutters out, oh, I'd sell my soul for a donut, and then Ned Flanders pops up as the devil, which is so funny to me because he still keeps his Flanderisms, but he's the devil, and he's all sweet and nice until he pulls back for a second, and then he's very satanic, and then just instantly goes right back into being Ned Flanders. So Homer sells his soul for one donut in exchange that he'll burn in hell for the rest of eternity. So Homer finds a loophole in the system by not finishing the donut to begin with. So he's putting it off for weeks and just tormenting the devil about how he still has his soul and nothing can happen to him. But one night, like days or weeks later, he comes back to his kitchen late at night and finds the donut and eats it without remembering, and instantly Flanders pops up and says, okay, finally, you're mine now, and puts him, and in hell he's being tormented in ways that shouldn't be good, but Homer is just like outlasting throughout all of it. He's put on this conveyor belt full of donuts where he has to eat donuts as much as possible, and that is just confused as to how many donuts he can possibly eat. It's just going into his mouth consistently. So Lisa finds that Ned has to give Homer a trial as the devil went down to Georgia rules. So he has to give him a trial, and this is where I don't remember much. Oh yeah, so I think the verdict was.
I basically remember the end.
Yeah,
but like the hell portion, and then it just gets hazy, and then I just kind of remember the end.
Yeah, where Ned says, "Okay, well, I can't have your soul, but you'll become a giant donut." So there's Homer with his big donut head, and he's eating himself.
He's just loving on his own. But
and Marge is like, "Stop eating yourself." He's like, "But I'm so delicious and crispy."
But with that was our top 5. A few ones that we didn't really argue about anything, but
no.
Honorable mentions was the shitting. I think it was actually called the shitting.
Mm-hmm. It was the shitting
because Willie actually corrects Bart.
Yeah,
says something about stop boy. You want to get sued in his Scottish accent, of course. That was one. I
love the part where Homer comes in and it was like, all work and no beer, donuts make Homer something something.
Oh, no television and no beer.
No television, no beer make Homer something something, and Marge goes go crazy. Don't mind if I do!
It's there's that one. I forget the one where like the teachers are eating the children. That one I actually enjoyed.
What was that one?
Dial Z for zombie.
That's a good one.
That one was cool. There's a bunch.
My honorable mention, what shouldn't really belong to the Treehouse of Horror ones, was Homer Cubed, where it's a take on a Twilight Zone episode where Homer goes into another dimension, in 3 dimensions, which is the first time they have the 3D Homer, and he's just walking around and just doing all these cool 3D things.
But anyway, check out the Simpsons, that Dream Anatomy. That's pretty interesting. We're gonna basically leave you with Carolyn Fogel with the pick of the week, the only pick of the week, and also if we maybe missed a Treehouse of Horror episode or segment that you might want to be like, hey, you idiots, you forgot this or anything like that, or actually I'm kind of interested in what your guys' top 5 are for that. So go ahead and comment. Find us on Facebook. I'm Sean Vidmar at Graves6vi6 on Twitter. And
I'm at Danny Mecler, and be sure to write us in at theonlygenre@gmail.com and leave a comment below.
And thank you very much for consuming our brains.
Hi, this is Carolyn with your only pick of the week, The ABCs of Death. This movie is inspired by children's many alphabet books. The ABCs of Death is a movie composited of 26 clips done by 26 directors from around the world, each depicting death with an interesting twist of their chosen word for their letter. What I liked about this movie was that some of the clips were subtle, whereas others were very blunt. There was also a wide variety of different media, from just plain video to claymation to animation. It was also fun to try to figure out what the word was that they used for death. All in all, this movie has something for everybody, and that is your only pick of the week.
Your children will never know how this ended.
At the online US what?
I don't know where we're going to put that in, but boop-a-doo. Yeah. We all know Guillermo del Toro from Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, and Hellboy. Okay.